Hello and welcome to Cask Tech Tips. I'm Taylor and today we're going to talk about changing valve coils. This is a procedure you will need to run through if you're having valves that aren't working. Too much foam, no foam. Step by step we're going to get detailed and show you how to do it. And this is applicable on all of our machines. Alright, so here we've got a PX2 valve. This has two coils in it, a fat one and a skinny one, foam, beer. Process for both is going to be exactly the same. We're going to show you step by step on how to do that. Step one is to de-energize the machine, do your lockout tagout, and make sure that all the product pressure is bled off, because you will need to remove this, which is step one. Grab yourself a crescent wrench or an appropriately sized wrench for this nut. You want to just give that a little bit of a push. Off she goes. This inlet spout has an O-ring that holds it in place, so you'll need to give it a little wiggle as you pull that out. A little bit of product will spill, that's okay. This will release the coil from the valve assembly, and it should just slide off nice and clean. Other side of that is going to be the electrical connections. On a lot of our machines, you're going to see a setup just like this. These are called Phoenix connectors, and these are what connect the electrical supply from the machine to the valve coil. Other machines have these located inside of a junction box, remote from the fill head. Process is the same, you'll just need to open that box up to gain access to these connectors. So to change the coil, we've got the retaining nut moved. Next we're going to disconnect the electrical supply. In this case, it's a 2-pin Phoenix connector, which will now allow you to slide the coil off. Next step will be to remove it from the case. Be careful with these, as the wires do create a little bit of friction here. Draw it out gently, and there's your coil. Keep this case handy, because you'll need to put the new one back in there. If your coils do retain this connector, there's 2 screws on top, little flatheads. Simply unscrew them, and then you can pull the wires out. Now, if this is the first time you've done this, you'll notice some ferrules on the end of the wires for the coil leads. This is something we do from the factory. While it is strongly recommended you install yours with these, it's not required. The new coils are going to come with a little soldered tip on the end of the wire, and that will work just fine inside of this Phoenix connector. So to reinstall or to install a new coil, if this is your setup, we'll start with the electrical side. Polarity doesn't matter. The coil can have each wire in either side. It doesn't matter. Positive, negative, it's all good. Simply re-terminate these by putting the wires in and screwing these screws down. Just finger tight at first. Once you got a nice bite, give them between a quarter and half a turn. That gets your coil prepped. Next step is going to be to reinstall the coil into the protective case. Now pay attention to this, because it is very easy to pinch those wires in that case. If that happens, there's a good chance that A, the coil won't work because you've now created a short circuit, or the coil will not last for long because of the same reason. So once you're confident these wires are laid in nice and you're not going to create a pinch, give it an inspection on both sides to ensure this is the case. You're ready to reinstall. It's always a good idea to put this wire entry hole at the bottom of the valve case. The reason for that is if any moisture gets in here, it'll drain out and it won't sit inside of there, which will cause premature coil burnout. Pretend I didn't drop that washer. So to reinstall your product inlet tube, reinstall your brass nut. Once you've got this finger tight, just like the Phoenix connectors, give it no more than a quarter turn. This tube will rotate if installed correctly. That is perfectly normal. From here, you simply plug the coil back into its location. Now you're ready to do a test. If you've got product, actuate the foam, actuate a clean fill, confirm that the valve is behaving correctly. If it is, you're off to the races. One quick note on the orientation of the coils. On your PX2 valve, you have 2. There's a skinny one and a fat one. Your foam and beer coil. When you replace these, you want to ensure that the fat coil, or your beer coil, the one that has two cases, goes on first, closest to the fill head frame. This will line up internally with the beer shuttle and allow the valve to function correctly. Your skinny one, or your foam coil, goes on the outside, closest to the product inlet, closer to the operator. That lines up with the foam shuttle and again allows the valve to function correctly. Reversing these will cause the valve to work to a degree. It just will not work correctly. You may or may not get foam. In either case, when you're putting this back together, just ensure that you've got the correct orientation. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you get stuck or this procedure doesn't resolve the issues that you're having, call or email the support line at Cask. If you do need parts, drop us a line. Until next time, happy canning. We'll see you on the next one.